What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report. Happy Thursday, guys, out there. It is the first Thursday of April. Hope everyone is having a good April so far. We are part of NGSC Sports, guys. Remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. We are also part of the Game Winner Sports Network, Mancini Media, the Snowman Multimedia Sports, and the Sports Alliance of America Incorporated. We have two great sponsors on the show, CreatingZenSpaces.com. It is the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. And guys, remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We are also sponsored by Fun-Wags.com. Born from a near tragedy when a Fun Wags mascot had a bad reaction to a store brand treat. We have treats that have 3 ingredients you can pronounce. And the Fun Wags mascots would like you to try it because at the end of the day, our fur babies deserve the best. Head over to Fun-Wags.com to check those treats out. All right. Let me bring on Lou. Evening, sir.
Good evening, Bradley.
I think Gerald will be on a little bit later. I don't know if Adam's coming on this evening. So,
all right.
I think he's busy or something. So it'll be me and you show for the
All right.
Sure.
Sounds like when we first started.
Yes, correct. What's been going on, bud, in New Jersey? Everything going okay with you?
Yeah, except for the rain here, but other than that, fine.
Well, I wanted to ask you because I saw the fight earlier today on YouTube between the Devils and the Rangers. 2 seconds into the game.
Not even. Right before the puck dropped. 8 players, 4 from each side got ejected as this rivalry took it up a notch last night. And Rempe, of course, has been the instigator all along because ever since he came in the league, he has been a dirty fighter. He kind of reminds me of, Ty Domi. I mean, he's like the second coming of Ty Domi. Always picking fights and always going nasty. And I mean, I know the Devils and Rangers, of course, they can't stand each other, but I think this is taking a little bit too far. I mean, because he's always ready to duke it out with whoever on the Devils is like, you and all that.
Well,
the coaches got involved in it too. That was even worse. The coaches started going at each other. They're enjoying each other. They're cursing each other's brains out. Yo, go for the dirty.
I was just gonna say that, Lou. Because like I said, I saw the video on YouTube today, and I saw the coaches get into it. I'm like, wow, you don't see that too often where they're literally coming, this close together in between the benches.
The PA announcer was going to go attack somebody. It was awful. Oh my goodness, that's how you really know it's getting bad when everybody else gets involved.
Well, and it was on NBC, so Darren Pang was in the middle of the benches, and you're like, he's in harm's way.
Yeah,
he was in harm's way.
I mean, on national television, no less too. That makes it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the PA announcer, and then you got the security guards and everything. Oh, it was terrible. Oh,
I guess they said it was the second fastest fight at Madison Square Garden. I think is what the thing at the bottom of the screen said. So
every counting milliseconds, yes.
But I mean,
it was that bad.
You're 100% correct. They Let me ask you, because you're a Rangers fan. Do you hate the Devils more, or do you hate the Islanders more?
Oh, I hate the Islanders more. No question.
Islanders, okay. Because my one and only Ranger game was at Madison Square Garden, and they were playing the Islanders. That's the team they were playing against the night that we were there, and there were fights on the ice and off the ice
course.
in that building.
Bradley,
So
anybody who is a Rangers fan hates the Islanders with a passion. I mean, hates the Islanders.
okay.
I mean, you
Well,
want to throw up on them, you want to pee on them, like, oh man, it's just that bad.
well, I guess it's like asking, down here we have Seminole fans. Do you hate the Gators or the Hurricanes more? And a lot of them will answer Miami because Miami's been a conference opponent for so many years, and the Gators are just a team they play at the end of the season. So, but yeah, so it I guess it just falls on who do you hate. Which team drives you more crazier than when it comes to rivals.
Yes. Well, don't forget we've had some pretty big matches with both teams, but the Islanders one I think hurts more, especially back in 1980 when we were trying to get them out of the knock them out of their Stanley Cup defending championships, and they beat us. So that one hurt a lot more.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
We were on because back at the time they were the two top teams in the conference and pretty best in the league. Though the playoff structure was a bit different back then than it is now. I mean, it was a little confusing, but these two were a classic rivalry, and they had some memorable playoff games that you have to that I recall back when I was young. It was just that bad, almost as bad as when the commercial for that Gene company.
Well, did the Islanders won 4 straight Stanley Cups, and the last cup was won in '84, right?
83.
Is that the last cup?
They did win 4 Stanley.
That the year I was born. Okay, so
the
year that I was born was the last year they won a cup. Okay.
Yes. Ugh. 4 straight Stanley
Cups.
So
that was 79, 88, or 80, 81, 82, 83. So they started
Gretzky's
in 1980.
Rookie year, yes. Gretzky's rookie year.
And then, so they won the Stanley Cup the year that the Americans won the gold medal in the Olympics they beat the Soviets and then beat Finland.
But their first cup, yes.
Yes. Okay. That was their first cup. And then
I remember when that game happened. I was at a friend's house. My friend has my neighbor, and he has no recollection of this whatsoever, but I do, because we were watching the game. It was on CBS for some reason why I have no idea, but it was on CBS. We were catching the game in overtime, and Bobby Nystrom, with I think 6 minutes into the first overtime, he scores a rocket shot, and the Islanders won the Stanley Cup. We're like, oh my goodness! And that was against the Flyers, because like I said, they didn't do East-West back at the time. It was a real ridiculous system. And that was just after the WHA teams folded and came into the NHL, so that expanded. But it wasn't an East-West format like it is now, which it should have been all along.
Well, I know. Like speaking of the NHL, I know a couple of weeks ago we were talking about them expanding, new franchises, and like I said, I've heard Houston, Texas being one of them. Obviously, I mean, the thing is, you can't put them too far out west because you have to move a team into the Eastern Conference. I mean, I guess you could move Columbus from the west to the east, or is Columbus already in the Eastern Conference?
Columbus is already in the East. You want to move the trip back to the West?
Yeah, that would be weird. Because what are you going to do?
Well, it's been done before. I don't agree with it, but
because the Dallas Stars are in the Western Conference, they're on the Eastern Conference team, so
yeah,
and they're kind of like in the middle of the East-West.
That can go either way. If they're in the middle, they can go either way.
Okay.
But
unless they bring back Quebec. I don't know if they'll do that again or not.
Why make the same mistake twice? Oh.
Well, and then, I think Adam had the argument of putting a hockey team back in Atlanta, and it's failed there twice. How is it going to work now? You know what I mean? I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think it will work either.
You failed twice before, so why would you try again and fail for the third time? What are you trying to prove?
I don't know. That's a very good question. That's a very, very good question.
You got your Carolina Hurricanes. You got your Tampa Bay Lightning. You got your Florida Panthers. and Atlanta sandwiched in the middle of it. I mean,
Well, I guess because they feel, and really, if you think about it, the city of Atlanta is what, a baseball team or a baseball town or a football town?
oh yeah, baseball.
Baseball with the Braves, right? Okay.
Yeah,
And
they try to be a basketball team with the Hawks, but yeah,
well, they haven't been a good basketball team since Dominic Wilkins was a Hawk.
it's real.
I don't think they've been good since he retired. Um,
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know a lot about the NBA, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when you are like us, you do a lot of research on sports that you cover, and of course, the greats of the sport, and he was one of the greats in his era. He
yeah,
just happened to be in the same era as Michael, so it
pretty
was
much.
hard. It was hard, but so yeah. I mean, knowing the NHL though, Lou, I wouldn't bet on it that they wouldn't put another team back in Atlanta. If
Yeah,
they have the funding, the backing for it, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it one bit that they wouldn't put a team back in Atlanta again. Probably within the
well,
foreseeable future. Speaking of relocating, did you see that the Oakland A's are moving to Sacramento from the
for a while,
2025
yes.
to 27 season
Yeah,
until the, I guess, stadium gets built in Vegas?
and it's an option for 2028. And I got a reply that said Vegas said no. Yeah, sure. I think it was as a joke though, but Vegas said no. I
Well,
don't believe that.
I read something, Lou, that the mayor of Las Vegas said that she thought that they need to find another city to go play baseball in. So,
Hmm.
but if they have the funding and they have the ownership, she's really got. I mean, all someone's got to do is say, "Hey, what do you want for some hush money?" Okay, here, hush up. We're building a
Push up.
stadium.
Here's
Oh,
$3 million. So
yeah.
shut
Oh,
up.
what do you need? What do you need in your city? Oh, you need another casino? Okay, we'll give you $5 million to build another one. Build another one.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, here's 5 million. Get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave us alone. We're gonna.
I'll make it 10 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
We're
That's a final
gonna.
offer.
Yeah. We're going to. Oh, you need help with your schools? Okay, here. Here's $20 million. Just be quiet. From
Yeah.
and let the
Anything
stadium
else?
get. Yeah. Well,
Retractable roof. Okay, here's 50 million.
yeah. It really honestly is sad that now Oakland has lost every professional team that they've
Yeah.
had. The Raiders, the Warriors, the A's, they've lost them all. Every single one of them
What a
has
shame.
moved out of Oakland.
What's Oakland got? Nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like I said. I mean, you go from having, three great franchises, and I mean, they all have, history in that city. Um, the A's at now they don't hold the record anymore, but at one time they held the most consecutive wins for an AL team.
20 in a row.
And I still get goosebumps watching that home run that was hit that got them the 20 in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be like you having your city, you've lived there all your life, and then all of it, you grow up a sports fan, and then all of a sudden, within a blink of an eye, they're gone, and there's nothing and I know the city doesn't. I guess to me, I guess is it the city doesn't have the funding to hold these teams there. I mean, I think that's the big thing, right?
Yeah, it is. Because that's what we definitely need.
Because they can't build a stadium for
No.
the A's. The A's have asked for years to get the Coliseum rebuilt, which is ranks as the lowest stadium, only behind Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, where I live, not too far from. But yeah, it's. But then again, the same thing with the Rays. They told the city council told them that stadium had been approved. Now all of a sudden now they're coming back and saying, well, we don't know yet. We don't know if we got the funding yet. It's like, oh shit.
What's your problem?
Like, yeah, it's like you're running out of time because it takes 3 years to build the stadium. So
Minimum.
you need to like make a decision now. And, yeah. So they got to make a decision here soon. So that's all I'm going to say about that. What's up, Gerald?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Would you like to go ahead and say what you want to say, buddy? I'll leave the floor to you.
I know Adam's not here, and I said this on my show, but I want to thank you, Lou, and Adam and my wife does too, for the support.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, anytime. You guys are welcome. I mean, honestly, Gerald, I've lost 3 family members to cancer. So cancer sucks, dude. I've lost 2 uncles and a grandmother to cancer. So,
but I can tell you one thing about her: she's a fighter.
Well, from hearing her in the background the past year and a half, 2 years, I could say that.
Yes.
I could say that. We always make a joke that she's going to kill you live on the air. So
she still could.
I'll wait till the air is off.
Oh, wow. She's going to do it off the air. So there's no proof. There's no proof.
But she goes in on the 23rd for a CT scan and an MRI.
Yes.
Did they say, Gerald, how did they, I mean, obviously those scans will give you a little bit more context. Did they say what stage her cancer is in? Or anything?
They don't know what stage or how far it's progressed.
I got you. Okay.
That's why they want to do the CT scan and the MRI.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if it's not stage 4, let's pray to God it isn't. It can be treated. I mean, I know
it's urine cancer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what's scary.
But it is spreadable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, cancer is spreadable no matter where it is in your body, unfortunately. But yeah, no. You guys are quite welcome. I mean, I had talked to you, Jared, on the phone about a week and a half ago when you said that she was going in for tests, and then I saw your post in the group chat, and yeah, like I said, I lost 3 members of my family to cancer, and cancer sucks.
Yes, it does.
Cancer
like
sucks.
I tell him, I'm not letting this defeat me.
There you go. There's that fighting spirit.
And with my show,
Got that right.
with my show, I got thinking, well, she's going through this. I'm not going to do my show. I'm going to take some time off. And she goes, why do that? We got to live our lives.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, Gerald, honestly, when my mom passed away 3 years ago, and I thank you guys for supporting me through that, I took a week off. And while I was off that week, I said, yeah, maybe I should take another week off. And somebody goes, no, you shouldn't, because your mom wouldn't want you to be quiet. She would want you to continue on with your life and live your life. And she's always there to support you. And yeah, trust me, I get notices a lot from her that she's still here. So it's, yeah, you gotta continue to go on. And like you said, keep fighting, because you never know. Miracles happen every day. Every day. So,
and they said also, they were saying too, this depends on how bad it is.
mm-hmm.
They can do it with radiation and chemo, but the chemo, if it hasn't got bad enough, she can probably do that with chemo pills.
Okay.
Okay.
The only scary part about chemotherapy is it kills everything. I mean,
well, that's if you actually don't. That's if you actually go in and get it pumped into your veins.
Yeah.
Pills act just like the
It does?
Yes, I read that.
Okay, yeah, she said the pills act like that too.
Yeah, and it depends on how the individual reacts to it too. Some people don't get as sick as others do. It just depends on how much it's progressed and everything, and because like I said, chemo kills everything, skin
Yeah.
cells, hair cells, everything. So hopefully, if she goes on chemo, whether it's by injection or by pill form, she's not on it very long because it does. I mean, there have been people. I had a friend of mine who had breast cancer. She went on chemotherapy and got radiation, and she's in remission. So it happens. It
And
happens.
they said if it's regardless, they're gonna have to do a what's it called, a
Hysterectomy.
Hysterectomy?
Hysterectomy. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be. Well, did they say that if they did the hysterectomy that the cancer would go away had it not spread? Is there a way of that without the chemo?
Imaging.
It depends on the imaging, what the
results.
what the CT scan shows and
The MRI does.
Yeah.
Is she what do they call that? Oh, I can't think of the dang word. Oh crap! What is the word where people are afraid of being in tight spaces?
No, I'm not.
Claustrophobia.
It's a phobia.
Yeah, it's a
Claustrophobia.
phobia. There you
there
go,
you go.
Luke. Is she claustrophobic?
No, she's not, but I am.
I've been in an MRI machine, and I'm not claustrophobic. And they tell you, oh, you know, you'll be able to, if you put headphones on, you'll be able. That machine is so loud. It sounds like grinding gears. When it
Yeah.
goes,
I was in
Yeah.
one when I was a teenager for my back, so
I
I can handle it.
hate going through MRIs because I went through one with my knee. What they do with the knee is they put it in this container. It looks like this.
Mhm.
They put your knee in there, then they have another one that goes on top of it. Locks your
Right.
knee. You cannot move your knee or any part of your body. And you're laying there on your back with your knee in this vice contraption, and it starts going numb, and you're like,
Mhm.
hurry up, get this damn thing done.
I probably go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I want to move it so bad. You sitting there thinking to yourself, come on, dumbasses.
Yes.
No, but seriously, G-Dub, prayers to you and your wife. Hopefully everything turns out well for her MRI and her CT isn't very serious. And even if it is serious, let's hope that they caught it early enough to where they can get in there and get it out of there before it becomes a major problem, you know, and stuff like that.
They said that the cancer she has is very, very rare.
Okay.
You know, but now since I know she has cancer, I'm gonna be a big supporter of cancer in any way I can, try to help find a cure for it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was
and like I was
Go ahead,
telling
Greg.
everybody, every day they are working on trying to find a cure for it.
I was just gonna say that I watch a channel on YouTube called Watch Mojo, and they count down things. And they were talking the other day about the top 10 medical moments of this century, and one of those is cancer. They're using artificial intelligence to map bodies and to try to attack the cancer cells through AI to get it clean out. So there won't be one of these days there will not be remission. You're going to be completely cleared of the disease completely. The interesting part is we all have cancer cells in our blood. It just depends on if it's activated or not. That's the scary thing. So
cancer runs on my side of the family. Both my grandmas died from it.
Same here.
And you know, cancer is hereditary.
Yes.
So I have to watch it now.
Yeah, I got cancer on my dad's side of the family, and I have diabetes on my mom's side. So I've been tested for diabetes because I fall after my mom's side. My doctor has told me that as long as I don't balloon up, I'll be fine. So
No, I have on my dad's side of the family, there's diabetes, congestive heart failure, the cancer, blood clots.
ooh, those are scary.
Well, we do know what caused it, and it was me not having a regular menstrual
Yeah, that's what
because
caused
I
it.
have POS.
With her not having her regular visitor every month,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it the polite way.
That's
Her-
okay.
Her monthly
Yes.
visitor that comes around once a month.
Aunt Flo.
Yeah, Aunt Flo. There
Yeah,
you
there
go.
you go.
Since Aunt Flo don't come around on a regular basis, and that's what caused it.
Okay.
But we don't know how long it's been like this, or what's that as of right now until we get these till we get the imaging back.
And when's the test? When are the tests happening?
Going on the 23rd.
The 23rd. Okay, so that's 19 days away. Okay.
And then I get the results on the 26th.
Then 3 days later we get the results.
Well, that's pretty quick. That's quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they wanted to get a rush on it. They wanted to get it done before the 16th, but the hospitals are all booked.
She's got a great team of doctors.
Yeah.
so you got a good oncologist then,
Yes.
because that's
yes.
who you see for cancer. Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, if we go in there after all this is over with, and we go in there and the doctor says they can't find nothing,
Thank God.
I want to hit my knees right there and in
Yeah.
the examining room in front of the doctor and start thanking God.
Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Right.
That's good. No, hey, or you know what? The other thing you can do, Gerald, too, and this is what happens. This is the good part of cancer patients. When they ring that bell, their last round of chemo, and they ring that bell to tell them that I'm cancer free. So that's the other thing you could celebrate too. When she rings that bell, that the cancer is completely gone. If it gets to that point, let's hope it doesn't get to that point. But if it does, she can ring her bell and take a video. We'll put it up. You could put it on your show, and you could put it on my show of her ringing the bell. Yeah, absolutely. That is always welcome. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, because with her in the background picking on me, it makes the shows fun.
Sure, absolutely, it does.
Yes.
Absolutely.
See, even when
Absolutely.
she's in pain, she's sitting there busting on me.
Yeah, I would have picked on you on your show, but I fell asleep on you.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Also, I'm a big supporter of legalizing marijuana for medical purposes.
Ah.
Yeah, I think, Gerald, I think it's going to be legalized in the next 4 to 5 years. I would bet, even
Well,
before that.
Why I say that? My cousin had cancer. He would smoke one a day.
Uh-huh.
He lived 6 months past what the doctor gave him.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Good.
Because what it does is it actually slows down the cancer cells.
Yep. No, I mean, here's my take, and I know this is being seen on social media. I've never done it myself, but it needs to be legalized because it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's
If I smoke it-
it's not
if I smoke-
cocaine. It's not heroin. It's not
Nope.
fentanyl. It's not anything like that kills people. Marijuana is something that relaxes you, and it can be used medically to help fight cancer and other ailments and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. Again, I've never used it in my life. Maybe I never will. Maybe I will in my future. I don't know. But I can say this, that if I was the head honcho, it'd be legalized. That's just me.
I admit I smoke it at times, but I use it for pain relief.
That's okay. No one should judge you for that. Nobody
And I tell you what,
should judge you for that.
after I smoke it, all I want to do is grab something to eat and hit the bed.
And that's
Yeah.
fine. Like I
To
said,
me- To me, it's not a drug; it's more like an herb.
yeah.
Yeah, when you hit the bed, that's when I take advantage.
I'm gonna throw something at her in a minute. She goes, yeah, when you go to bed, that's when I take advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We gotta keep
Okay.
this PG. We gotta keep this
Hey,
PG
who
show.
said I meant it that way? Come on now.
See,
We
you know
gotta
what?
keep it PG.
See?
We gotta keep it PG.
There's the good thing about that. See, she still has a good attitude about it, so that's what's good too.
yes. Yes.
Staying positive, which is a good thing.
She said she ain't gonna give up.
That's a good thing.
Nope.
I dropped the top of my soda. Not good. Oh
Baby girl.
no, but yeah, I was telling her on colleges. I said that it ran up against two people that are hard headed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And with my help, she's gonna kick cancer right in the ass.
There you go, as it should be.
Yes.
And a friend of ours says, you got to get mad and angry and take it out on that disease.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
But she has her good days and her bad days.
As we all do. Even if we're feeling 100%, we still have our good days and our bad days. Absolutely.
Interesting story. Remember the post I made about my watch band breaking?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it finally came apart. There's no fixing it. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what can I use as a temporary watch band? Got to looking through my dresser drawers. Couldn't find a watch band that I had. But I found something that my son gave me. I got thinking, I'm going to try this. And ta-da.
Nice.
And right here it says Cowboys American Team.
Nice.
So not only is it a watch band, but I'm supporting my team.
Football can't get back fast enough.
Oh man! Oh, did you hear about that Kansas City receiver that got busted for racing in Dallas?
Yes, I did.
I think he should be suspended about at least 4 to 5 games.
The NFL will have to wait to see what Roger Goodell. I mean, speaking of that, we're in April now, right? So what are we? 20 days, 24 days away from the draft?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. 21 or 22 days away.
Let me see real quick. Let me see how many days when the NFL draft is.
Well, let's see. April. I think it's the 25th.
25th?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the 27th, 28th, and 29th.
Okay.
There's 3 rounds. The first round.
That is correct, Lou. It is Thursday the 25th. Yep.
So it goes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, it looks like to me it says round 1, Thursday, April 25th at 8 p.m. Rounds 2 and 3, Friday, April 26th at 7. And rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday, April 27th at noon.
So that's why I'm saying it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So what we need to do, Gerald, is we need to have a way of linking our shows together so that we can watch the draft again this year.
Yes.
I think what we could do on that is we could do it on mine.
Okay.
On my show, and I figure
Right.
out some way of sending you the video.
Fine by me. Fine by me, bud. That's fine by me.
Or maybe you can figure out a way to link the 2 shows together.
Let me look it up because remember I told you guys I was going to switch to Zoom.
Yeah.
Here's why I'm not going to do that now. I went on Zoom, and you know what? You see what's at the bottom of the screen? You see what's in the top right-hand corner, our show logo? You see the bottom inner? You can't have those on Zoom.
No.
Ralph told me that you cannot have anything on the page. Everything, and now that I think about that, my friend Mike, who I go on his podcast called the Legacy Podcast, go over to YouTube and watch him because I've been on there a couple times. He has not, when he does his show, he edits all that information into it after the show is over. I don't have any editing software to do that. So yes, it would be cheaper for me to have Zoom. It would be, but then I would take away from the banner, and it would take away from us having our show logo up in the corner.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
is it worth that? No, because we have the banner at the bottom. That gives, I mean, if we have any future guests, we can say, you know, Tiger Woods coming on April 25th. I mean, I'm just
Exactly.
hypothetical situation. That would be great, but I'm just saying you could have that at the bottom of the screen, where on Zoom you can't have that set up. So StreamYard, if you're listening, I'm staying on the network. So
Did you
going
want
anywhere.
to jump into WrestleMania real quick?
That was one of my topics I had. I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch any of it on Sunday, which I know the main event is Cody and Roman. But yeah, what are the Saturday matches? Because I haven't even looked at the card yet.
Night one, I don't know how these matches are going to come out. You know, these are not in any particular order.
Okay.
You know, let me get to it because I just had it. Okay. We got the Women's World Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. That one right there, after what Rhea said about Becky's daughter.
Ooh, I saw that. I saw that.
I don't care. I don't care if it's script or not. You don't say that about somebody's child.
No.
No, that's a line you don't cross. That's a line you don't cross. Yeah.
I think Becky's going to take the frustration out on Rhea, and she's going to walk out of WrestleMania as the new women's champion.
No.
I agree with you, Drew. I've read and heard, again, I get a lot of sports notifications on my phone all day. I've heard rumors that Rhea Ripley is being not fired or released, but she's taking a long sabbatical.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then she loses the belt and then she can go on vacation. I mean, I know she's dating somebody. Maybe they're getting married and they're going on their honeymoon.
She's dating Buddy Murphy.
Yeah. I don't know if they got married or they're getting married and she's taking a sabbatical to be her personal life, and that's fine with me if that's what she decides to do. But yeah, there is few lines you don't want to cross, and crossing the line with talking about someone's child, that's fine line. Because even if that was a guy, I'd snap too. Snap too. So
the next match we got is Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. On this one right here, there's tension in the Judgment Day. I mean, you can see it this past Monday night because Santos and his little group showed up in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and they weren't too happy about Dominic not asking them permission.
Gotcha.
But I want to give that one to Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
I think
I found that, Joe. I found the article that I was trying to look for when we're doing the show. I found that ridiculous article.
Okay. The next one. This is gonna be the match of all matches.
Yes.
Main event, Jey Uso taking on his brother Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
Well, as long as no one from the from the family gets in the middle of it, then I could see that being. Yeah.
I can see that happening. I can see Solo coming in there and helping out.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm hoping.
Thanks, Mike.
Doesn't happen.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it, brother.
I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I like to see Jimmy win, and I think the dysfunction will start at that match. for Roman and all of them. I think that's the first domino that falls. Let me ask you this question. Does Solo have a match at WrestleMania?
Not that I know of.
And I wonder why. Because The Rock, Roman are in a tag match against Seth and Cody.
After,
and then you have Jimmy. So why isn't Solo having a match? That's weird. How you wouldn't have him in a match? Interesting.
Well, he might be in one. As I go down the list, he might be in one. I just don't see it right now. But I'm going to give brother versus brother. I'm going to give it to Jay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think the only reason why the Usos was such a great tag team was because of Jay.
I agree, because Jay was there longer. Jay was healthier. Jimmy was the one that was hurt, was out for a while. So, yeah, I'd say Jay, too.
Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I like Sami, but Gunther's is this a science experiment gone wrong?
He's unstoppable. Unstoppable.
So I got to give it to Gunther. I'm sorry.
Me too. I think he retains.
But now, Jade Cargill is now with WWE.
Yes, she is. Yep.
And on this past Monday night Raw, she single-handed took out Damage Control.
I watched the clip today. Gerald. I watched that clip today. Yep.
And when I seen that, I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. If you look at that clip, she takes like just her good old sweet time getting to the ring. Like, just keep fighting. I'll get there when I get there. And then when I get there, I'm going to whoop your asses. And that's exactly what she did.
Can you imagine if Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair formed a tag team as dominant as these women are?
Well, that or even throw Naomi into that equation too. All three of them would make any combination of those three would be great. Any of them.
But Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control.
So that's is that Asuka?
That's Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
The Habuki Warriors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Io Sky has a match against Bayley.
Oh, is she on night 1 or night 2? She's defending her title.
I think it's night 2.
That's against Bayley, right?
Then we have Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman. Now, here's something interesting about this. Cody and Roman had an in-ring promo.
Mm-hmm.
Roman asked Cody, "Can you trust Seth?"
Mm-hmm.
Cody looked Roman dead in his eyes and says, "Can you trust The Rock?"
I watched that clip too. Yep.
I think The Rock is playing with Roman.
Well, we were just talking about Solo. And if you go back when The Rock first came in and he came in and he gave his praise to Roman, and they were supposed to have a match for the title at WrestleMania, and so Cody decided to go not against Seth, but go against Roman.
Exactly.
And Solo, he poked fun at Solo The Rock poke fun at Solo a couple of times. I'm wondering if in the back of his mind, if he doesn't snap and he ends up costing The Rock and Roman that match, which then will be a one-on-one match the next night for Cody and Roman, because if they don't win, Cody and Seth don't win, then it's not going to be fair unless Cody's got some great, if he brings out Jimmy and if Seth doesn't get the crap kicked out of him by Drew McIntyre, if that's the case. But then again, too, you were talking earlier about the Judgment Day.
Well, see,
he's got to turn his briefcase in. He's running out of case.
Rules. Let's say if Rock and Roman does win, and it's bloodline rules, anything goes. No disqualifications.
Right.
So if that happens, I think Cody's got something up his sleeve. He's got a couple aces up his sleeve.
He better
sure
if that's the case.
And I think one of them is his brother Dustin.
From AEW?
Yeah,
Interesting.
because I haven't seen Dustin in AEW in a while.
Gold Dust back? Or just Dustin? Does he come back as Dustin Rhodes, or does he come back as Gold Dust?
Come back as probably the American Badass Dustin Rhodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you know who I watch Gerald a lot, and he has his own channel, is Ryback. I
Oh
can't.
my God, that was
He
a big boy.
he's one of those guys that, he talks. He as of right now, because he does a lot of food reviews. He lives in Las Vegas. He doesn't leave his house very often. But he talked bad about Vince McMahon because as Vince McMahon is in some deep shit, as we all know.
When isn't McMahon in some deep shit?
Never.
Never. I mean, the only one that I can say that's never really been in deep shit is Shane. He's the only one that hasn't been in deep shit.
Yeah, because Shane's the smart one. When shit starts getting deep, he gets in the boat and floats on down.
Smart man. Smart boy. Smart man. But
Night 2.
yeah, I mean,
So,
I hope Cody and Seth win, but Gerald, for some off the wall reason, I don't know. I think The Rock, because The Rock is back and he's on the board that owns part of the WWE and UFC. I don't know. Something tells me that they're going to win that match. But like you said, if they do win, the Sunday night pay-per-view would be anything goes. So that means Cody can have whoever come out and help him.
And if
So
you watch one episode of SmackDown, SmackDown, Rock and Roman were in the ring together.
mhm.
And here's one thing you don't do. You don't touch The Rock at all. You don't care if it's family or not. And Roman reached over and touched Roman's arm. Roman reached over and touched The Rock's arm, and The Rock took off his sunglasses and was like, "Really?"
Well, Joe, did you see when The Rock was doing his and finally he was saying whatever city, and Roman stopped him from saying that and said, "You haven't acknowledged me."
Yeah, that's when Roman put his hand on The Rock's arm.
And I'm sorry, even if, like you said, even if I was The Rock's family, I don't think I'd be putting my hands on that man. No, I don't think I'd be putting my hands on him at all.
Night 2, we have the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul is going to lose.
Yep.
But to which one, Randy or Kevin?
Randy.
I would have to say Randy. But here's what I would do if I was either Randy or Kevin. I would tell the other one, "Hey, let's gain up," because we all know in the triple threat match, anything goes. Hey, let us two gain up on Logan Paul, take him out, then just be mano and mano.
I agree.
Because Logan Paul does not have to be pinned or submitted to lose his title.
Right.
Here is another great match: LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Those two haven't seen eye to eye for a long time.
But I think AJ is going to put LA Knight over the top, and I think LA is going to win it.
I think you see LA Knight being in the main event at SummerSlam.
Yes.
For a title, whether it's Seth,
Yes.
whether it's Cody, or Roman, whoever has the belts. I think it, or even if it's Drew McIntyre, I think that some way LA Knight, who is just blowing up, has for the last part of end of last year till now, is on a high in his career.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put the belt on him coming up here soon.
Yeah,
Right.
It's time for him to have a belt. I don't care if it's the United States Championship, if it's the IC Championship.
I was going to say, maybe he takes out Gunther at SummerSlam.
I think he can do it. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Seth is going into one hell of a let's say the Lion's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know Seth has back problems.
And he just came back. He just got cleared.
And we all know that Drew McIntyre knows this.
Uh-huh.
He's going to zero in on Seth's back.
But you're forgetting the X factor in that whole match. He's going to be on
What's that?
commentary. CM Punk. He hates both of those two. He's going to be out there, and don't think he's not going to stick his face in that match somehow.
So
Somehow he's going to screw somebody.
it could be a no contest.
I think Gerald, I think he's going to screw Drew McIntyre. Why? Because McIntyre hurt him. So I think he screws McIntyre and then gets healthy, and then those two have a match. That's my point of view. That could be
And the winner of that match goes on to face Seth at SummerSlam for the title.
Yeah. That would be perfect. That would be to me, that would be I just think because CM Punk got hurt by Drew McIntyre, that he'll screw McIntyre somehow, some way. Seth retains, they have a match, and then they face Seth at a future pay-per-view.
And then we have the WWE Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Io Sky. Now Bayley at one time was the leader of Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
But Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai turned on Bayley.
Correct.
So Bayley's going to be out for revenge,
She wins.
and she's going to start with the big dog, which is Io Sky right now.
Yeah.
Bayley's going to take out Io Sky. Then she's going to have an open challenge at SummerSlam, or she's going to put the belt up against another member of Damage Control and start taking out Damage Control one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and she might have the help of Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Miss Cardle. Yeah, I would imagine those three. Wouldn't that be something to have Bayley win the title? Bayley win the title, and then there's a four-person tag match at SummerSlam between Damage Control, Bayley's teaming with Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Cardell. Jane Cardell. All of those three. Those four.
That would be an awesome match.
So
Yes.
I would assume that that's probably something brewing in the writers' back of their minds. At least if I was a writer, that's what I would be saying. I'd be posing that to somebody, but yeah.
The six-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Championships. Now, this is a 16 ladder match.
Okay.
We got Awesome Truth versus the New Czech Republic versus DIY versus the New Day versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus the Judgment Day. With all the tension going on in the Judgment Day, I don't think Damian Priest and Finn Balor's head is going to be in the match. You know, they're going to be too worried about what's going on with their little clique. So Judgment Day is going to lose. But
Who's going to be the tag team champion?
What team? I would either have to say Awesome Truth, New Czech Republic.
I hate to say this, but I have a funny feeling it's going to be Austin Theory and Weller. I for some off the wall reason, because those two are heels, and I know the WWE never has faces for every title, so they got to put. But I mean, they have a heel now. Judgment Day is a heel, so maybe not.
Logan
But
Paul's a
also,
heel.
Damian Priest only has so many more days to turn that case in from Money in the Bank. He's running out of days. Turn it in.
Here's what myself and James Holder were talking about on my show, and Lou was there. Here's another possibility that could happen between Seth and Drew at that in the heavyweight title match. Drew could win, have a little celebration. Damian Priest could come down, cash in Money to Bank ladder match, and win the title from Drew.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's
I mean,
that's
like
another
I said,
way it could go.
He has to get that. He has to turn the briefcase in.
Nope.
So So yeah, I mean, I would hate Gerald. I would hate this right now. Let's say The Rock and Roman win night one. It is their rules. Seth against Roman night two. I mean Seth against Night two is them. Rollins and Rhodes. So Cody, and what happens is Roman and the crew, the bloodline, beat the crap out of Cody. He wins the belt miraculously, and then Damian Priest comes out and cashes in. And because the year that Brock Lesnar faced Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that match was great. And what happened? Seth Rollins stuck his nose in it and destroyed that match. That match was so great, and he destroyed it by cashing in and coming in down there, making it a triple threat match, and then he pinned Roman, right? I don't think he pinned Brock Lesnar. I think he pinned Roman Reigns. And he stole the belt away and ran up the tunnel at WrestleMania. So that's just my opinion.
Now, I would have to say this match right here, I would say this would be the main event of night two. Cody versus Roman. I mean, you have to make that a main event match.
Yeah, no doubt.
I honestly think Cody's going to finish his story.
I do too. If they don't do that, then they're going to lose half of their fan base.
And I think Cody's going to tell WWE, screw you, I'm done with this.
Going back to AEW.
Because that's one title he has never held in his career.
Did his father ever held that title?
I don't remember.
Mm.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Last night.
Was Dusty ever the heavyweight champion?
I do believe so.
Okay.
Early this morning, I watched the show on Peacock, and I would recommend everybody go watch it. But here's the catch: have a box of tissues with you, because it's very emotional. It had me in tears. It's the story of Bray Wyatt. It's called Bray Wyatt: The Road to Immortality.
Mortality.
Is it a good documentary?
Oh man, it's awesome. You can watch it on Peacock. It is
Okay.
It's awesome. I mean, it shows how he got started, how he came up through the ranks. It even showed the new Fiend mask that he was supposed to debut at one of the wrestling events.
Okay.
But he didn't get around to doing it because he had that heart attack. But yeah, if you watch it, make sure you have some Kleenexes with you Because I tell you right now, this man was loved by everybody in the WWE. Nobody had a bad thing to say about Bray Wyatt. This man, I tell you right now, love him or hate him, he had a very creative mind.
Yeah.
You know, because he could sit there and tell Triple H, well, you know, I think this would work. I don't think this would work. You know, let's try it this way. You know, just like with that Inferno match of him and Randy. It was actually Bray Wyatt's idea of that Inferno match. Because he tells Triple H, if we have this, I think it would really boost the ratings.
Oh yeah.
Well, Gerald, wasn't he supposed to be like the next Dark Force, like the Undertaker?
Yes, because if you remember correctly, Undertaker came out there when Bray Wyatt was out there. He came out there and looked at Bray Wyatt in the eye, shook his hand, and walked off. That was basically the Undertaker transferring the power of the darkness over to Bray Wyatt.
Passing the torch.
Yeah.
Passing the torch to him. Yeah. Yeah.
And right then and there, I knew Undertaker's career was done.
Well, I mean, Mark Calloway, who, if you guys don't know, that's actually Undertaker's real name. I think he's getting to the point, Gerald, where his body just couldn't take the beating anymore.
He don't live far from Austin. He lives in Westlake Hills.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
But I'm not gonna go knock on his door. He keeps telling me.
Get you.
I go knocking on his door without asking him to come over. He would tombstone me.
Yeah, in real life.
I'll pay him to come get you.
But I want to get your thoughts on something here real quick, Brad. Let me bring this back up real quick. This is the. Let's see if I can find it here. Because I know I had it and I still got it. Let's see here. Just bear with me here, guys. Where's it at? Where is it at? Incoming. Okay, yeah, here we go. Tomorrow we got SmackDown coming on.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we got the Hall of Fame ceremony, which here are the people that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course, we got the loudmouth Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would use a whole roll of duct tape on his mouth. Then we have Bull Nakona, Thunderbolt Patterson, The Rock's grandma.
The Rock's grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, The Rock's grandma. The U.S. Express and Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And Brad just froze on us.
Well, I found that ridiculous story, Gerald.
Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Yeah.
Brad. Brad's just like, okay, go ahead and leave.
Okay. This was a story that I found yesterday.
I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the bathroom, but I can still hear it.
All right. Well, okay. Brian Buxton of the Minnesota Twins is a perfect example of look before you leave in the dugout. The Twin star nearly put himself at risk with the mother of all weird injuries in the middle of the sixth inning on Tuesday when he emerged without knowing of the Brewers' sausage race that was underway. Oh boy, it gets even worse. Just when I thought I've heard it all, Buxton did not realize this era until he was standing squarely in the path of a sausage number one known as Bratwurst. The star outfielder did some athletic reflexes by getting out of the way after looking behind himself. Buxton was 1 for 4 in the game, resulting in a 3-2 win for the Brewers. Buxton and teammate Ryan Jeffries at least had a fun exchange over the near incident after the game was reported by The Athletic. Jokes aside, Buxton already deals with enough major risk without this kind of stuff. Boy, just ridiculous. In the middle of a sausage race, no less.
Well, hey, at least it's not as bad as the fans throwing hot dogs.
There we go. I'm
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Okay, Brad, since you're back,
Sorry about that. I have the internet, the extender sitting next to me on my desk, and I bumped it, and when I bumped it, everything went to shit.
here's the nominee for the ones that are going into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I want to get your thoughts on this. Of course, we got the loudmouth Paul Heyman.
He did, even though a lot of us hate him, he deserves to be there. I mean, he created ECW. He deserves to be there. I mean, none of us can stand him, but he deserves to be there.
I wish
He's the
somebody
man
would.
that everybody loves to love, but hates.
There you go. Correct.
Then we got Bull Nakona,
Okay.
Thunderbolt Patterson,
Okay.
Rock's Grandma,
Okay.
the U.S. Express,
Okay.
and Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali,
Mm-hmm.
is his daughter going to be there to do the speech?
She might be the one to. Are you talking about what's her name?
Layla Ali.
Yeah, she might be
Yeah.
there.
I would imagine so. I mean, imagine that she'd be the one to be doing the speech for her dad.
Sure.
Because I tell you what, Muhammad Ali. I remember Rumble. I remember people talking about Rumble in the Jungle,
Yeah.
the Thriller and Vanilla.
Come on, bro. We're in the middle.
No,
Well,
a lot of
Speaking
great,
of Ali, I mean, him and Joe Frazier made each other, because without one another, they wouldn't have been what they were, in my opinion.
And I
That's
tell
just
you
me.
right now, in his prime, I don't think Mike Tyson could have took Muhammad Ali.
No, not at all.
I agree. I agree with that. That would be a dream match to see them both in their prime. Yeah, I would love to see that match.
But Muhammad Ali would win that in 3 rounds.
Speaking of wrestling matches, do you know what match and this might be out of the world to say this, but Andre the Giant versus the Big Show in their primes.
Oh my God! They would have to reinforce that damn ring.
Yeah, I would love to see, what was called. He was called the Giant when he came out, but I mean, I would love to see Andre and the Big Show in a match. That would be great to see a match like that between those two.
You mean actually Paul White?
Paul White, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Gerald, is a trainer in the AEW, right? He trains.
Yes, he's a trainer
Okay.
now.
He's a trainer. Okay.
Yeah, he's a trainer. You want to go NASCAR next?
Sure. Why not? They're in Martinsville, right?
Okay, let me bring this up. Because I got the topics for my show.
Okay.
Last week we had the Toyota Owner 400 in Richmond, which Bubba Wallace, I'm not too happy with him right now. I've never been happy with the man, because one of my favorite drivers, Larson, was leading.
Okay.
He purposely spun Larson so Denny Hamlin could win.
Okay.
And NASCAR called it fair.
I was reading, Gerald. I didn't get a chance to read the article, but I saw something that they asked Richard Petty about that situation. Did he think that NASCAR got it wrong by letting Wallace get away? Because they even said not even to punish Wallace, but to punish Denny Hamlin. That's who they punished because they think that he had something to do with it more than Bubba Wallace. Because they're teammates, he told Bubba to knock him out so that he could win. Which I guess if that rubbing is racing type of thing scenario that they play out, that's fine.
Here's my
Is
thought
there
on
like a
that.
limit to that?
NASCAR did get it wrong
Okay.
because Denny didn't have nothing to do with it. It was all on Bubba Wallace. But now we actually don't know if Denny actually told his spotter to get hold of Bubba's spotter and tell him to do that. We don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's probably what could have happened. I'm not saying that it did, but we can sit here and argue that point
Okay.
because we really don't know how it went down. But I can guarantee you this right now: Bubba Wallace better be glad Dale Senior's not running anymore.
Yeah.
Because try that shit with Dale Senior and see where you at the following week. Senior didn't care if he won a race or not after you did that to him. He's coming back for revenge.
Yeah. Well, Gerald, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't know much about NASCAR, but being that you watch highlights, wouldn't Tony Stewart be like that too? If you knock Tony out, wouldn't he come after you next race?
Yeah, he would.
Well, there are some drivers that you just do not want to piss off because they're going to come after you the next race.
That would be
post race.
That would be Dale Senior, Tony Stewart, the Labonte brothers,
Okay.
Bobby and Terry, Kyle Yarborough, the Allison boys. There's a few more, but I can't remember them.
Okay, well, you know what?
So what?
I was
might be seeing history here.
Yeah, what are you watching, Lou? I see you watching TV. What's up?
Seton Hall and Indiana State in the AT championship.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I have personal ties to Seton Hall, so. And Seton Hall's up by 2 with 8 seconds to go. Can they hold them?
Oh
boy.
8 seconds left. Wow. That's a lot of time in basketball.
No.
Here is the top 5 thing in NASCAR so far.
It's over. 71 years, they finally got a title.
Way to go, Seton Hall.
Number 1 is Denny Hamlin. Number 2 is William Byron. Number 3 is Kyle Larson. 4 is Christopher Bell. 5 is Daniel Suarez.
You're the top 5 drivers right now?
Yeah.
Are they in Martinsville this week?
Let me see. I can find out real quick. Let me pull that up because I got the schedule. I got the schedule on my phone. You ain't so smart, are you, phone?
Come on, baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're at Martinsville.
Martinsville.
Teams in the NIT.
Yeah.
Respect. Watch the last possession.
It's the spring race.
Okay.
And it's going to be on, if you want to watch it, it's going to be on FS1. And if you can't watch it, but you want to listen to it, it's going to be on Motor Racing Network, which is MRN.
Okay. That's what time's the race start on Sunday?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. And guys, remind me, when is Monaco, when's Indy, and when is Coca-Cola 600? What day?
Coca-Cola 600 is normally, I think, the first week. I don't want to give you the wrong.
Is that Memorial Day weekend?
That's what. Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up next month, right? It's in May, right?
Let me look that up real quick, because I don't want to put the wrong information out there.
Because I was in Charlotte last year to watch the 600, and Mother Nature took a dump on that one. So,
2024 Coke 600. That's going to be Sunday, May the 26th at 5 p.m. at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
yeah, Memorial Day is the next day, the 27th. So, yeah, that's right. Okay. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, they race Monaco in the morning, Indy in the afternoon, and Charlotte wraps up the Motorsports Day, right, on that Sunday.
Yes. And the Coca-Cola 600 is the longest race
And that's
on the NASCAR circuit.
Yes.
You start in the day because I think green flag drops. Green flag drops at 5.
Okay.
So you start in daylight when the track is nice and sticky. You know, you got all that rubber on that where you can get grip. But as the night goes on, that track gets cooler. You start losing that grip,
Yeah.
and the drivers have to fight harder to keep the cars from wrecking.
Right.
But then again, you figure they're gonna be at Charlotte. You figure you start running 3 and 4 wide at Charlotte, something's gonna give.
Well, like I said, me and Adam did go inside the track last year. I got to see the inside of Charlotte Motor Speedway. But yeah, no, there are definitely turns you can get 3 wide, easily 3 wide. So I hope this year coming up that not one of those races is affected by rain, because every year I've got up to watch those races, one of them has been affected by rain. Charlotte last year, Monaco the year before. So is it going to be the Indianapolis 500 this year? Because every time I try to turn a race on, it's raining outside. So
I'll tell you what, Brad. You're part of my weather. You're in my weather chat.
I am.
Yes.
If you want to know how the weather's going to be for the Indy 500, just make a post in there, and one of us will look it up and let you know.
You know what I'll do, Gerald? The night before those races, I'll put a post up there. Tell me, because then I'll probably end up going to sleep. But tell me how the weather's going to be in Monaco, in Indy, and in Charlotte, North Carolina. And let me know what the weather's going to be like. Because I'd like to, again, I'm not a big motorsports fan, but I know that day in particular is exciting because there's 3 different races, 3 different brands of motorsports all in the same day. So
you need to come down. You need to come down here to Austin for COTA, because that whole weekend at COTA there's nothing but racing going on. We have the trucks on Friday, the Infinity on Saturday, and the Cup on Sunday.
Well, coming sooner or later because of COVID, USF was supposed to play Texas. That year, the Longhorns were supposed to be here at Raymond James Stadium. That series has not been made up yet, which means when Texas comes to the SEC later this year, in 4 months or so, USF's going to have to go to Austin to play them. So if I can get road credentials, I'm coming to Austin. I'm coming to Austin because that'll be a game that I'll put on my calendar to go visit.
You and I are brothers. We're real good friends. But when Texas plays US, we're gonna be frenemies.
They play Florida this year late in the season, so I know that's happening. So,
but
our schedule's scary. The Gators are scheduled.
Don't get me wrong. I know you're a Bulls fan, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can run with my horns.
They won't. They can't. They're not there yet. They're not there yet. They're too young. But I will say, give him a couple years. I don't know if Alex Golish continues to do what he did last season, and he gets recruits to come here. They could be moving from the American to the ACC, which I believe both Florida State and Clemson both by either later this year or by next year are going to be out of the ACC, and either they're going to go to the Big Ten or they're going to the SEC. Most likely the SEC, because why would you go to the Big Ten and have to travel to California to play USC and UCLA and up to Michigan and Wisconsin when you could play in the southern states with Texas, A&M, Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, and Florida State is in the same state. So that would be a conference game at the end of the season instead of just being just a in-state rival game. It would be a conference game. So that's just my opinion.
Here's
On
some
that.
NFL news for y'all. If y'all haven't heard, Aaron Donald has retired.
Yep, correct. Hall of Famer.
He had a great career.
Hall of Famer. He'll be a Hall of Famer. No doubt.
The NFL owners approved the ban of the swivel hip drop.
Yes. Well, and did you guys see that they have a new kickoff rule?
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yep.
it. I like that kickoff rule.
Okay.
Bring it back. Bringing the kickoffs back. Good. Good thing for the game.
The New York Giants. Now, here's the question I want to get both of y'all's opinions on.
Yes.
The Giants ownership gave the GM the opportunity to draft a quarterback in the draft. Now, with them giving Daniel Jones this rich contract, do y'all see the end of Daniel Jones as a Giants QB?
Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah. Wait, I'll repeat that again. I couldn't hear.
Do you
The
think?
Giants-
Do you think the Giants, if the Giants draft a quarterback in a draft, do you think Daniel Jones will no longer be a Giant?
If the Giant, yeah, I would think so. But then again, they got rid of Barkley, so I think Danny Dimes, I think would stay. I mean, I don't, we're thinking might be a back of the Jones. That's possible. I mean, you've already lost Barkley. I don't think that the GM will want to take a chance on losing Jones. So I would say Jones is going to stay.
Yeah, because either way, and even if they do let Daniel go, they still have to pay his contract.
Right.
And there's no team that's going to want to pick up a quarterback on that kind of contract.
No, not at all. So I think you have to. I think you would have to stay. I mean, they didn't get, contrary to what everybody thinks that how Jones and Barkley got along. No, that isn't true at all. In fact, they kind of like couldn't stand each other. So, what's the guy to do? Oh, just go up the Parkway and go to Philadelphia. So bite me, and the rest is history. So so I don't think the GM would want to be taking that kind of risk. Like, I'm gonna lose. I lost Barkley. Now I'm gonna lose Danny Dimes too. What the hell's going on here? I don't think he would give him up so easily. So I think Jones would have to stay. He would have to force him to stay.
And also, I've been keeping an eye on the mock draft on NFL Network. And the mock draft has got the Chicago Bears with the number 1 pick taking Caleb Williams out of USC.
That's why they traded away their quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Caleb Williams is overrated.
He's got some head issues from what I've heard from people that are draft experts. I mean, Jeff Barnes, our draft guy, I think he mentioned something about he hadn't got his grades done yet. But he had Caleb going number 1 overall too. So we'll see. We'll see. What Caleb Williams could do is all these people that are saying, oh, well, you're a head case. He goes to the NFL and has a great career. The only problem is he's going to a team that really needs offensive line help too. So if you do draft a quarterback, say Chicago does draft a quarterback, you're going to have to get offensive line help because Justin Fields ran for his life. And a rookie quarterback, look at Bryce Young in Carolina. You got to have an offensive line for these young kids. So go ahead and draft Caleb Williams. You're going to have to get in some offensive line help in Chicago. So that's my opinion.
Here's another question I thought of too. With Minnesota letting Cousins go, what quarterback do you think they pick up in the draft?
Where do they pick?
Let me look that up. I had that information, but I don't know what happened to it. 2024 NFL draft. That's not what I'm looking for. Draft order. Here we go. Minnesota picks. Let's see. Okay, round 1. Look, get back here. Okay, here we go. As the Chicago, Minnesota picks at number 11.
Ooh. I don't know. I would think by then Williams trades from North Carolina, and you know what? I'm gonna throw a wild one out there. How about Michael Penix? Throw a wild one out there.
Yeah.
If they don't pick up Penix Jr., I see him going after J.J. McCarthy from Michigan.
And him too, Gerald. The Patriots pick 3. I'd like them to pick J.J. McCarthy. Hey, they had one great Michigan quarterback. You never know what you can do the second time around. So
Yeah, but I tell you right now, Mac Jones wasn't worth the damn.
No, Mac Jones wasn't given a fair chance with offensive coordinators, and the Patriots really, and again, I'm a fan of the team. The biggest problem with the Patriots is they never go after any big weapons offensively. They always get these. They have slot receivers, the Edelmans, the Amendolas, those type of guys. Randy Moss was really the only deep threat the Patriots have ever had. So they need to get him weapons. If you're going to draft a quarterback, that's why I saw the first mock that I saw, the Patriots were going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, great. Who's going to throw him the ball? So you got to have a quarterback, but you can build around one of those guys. But the Patriots need so much, so who knows? They may even trade back for more picks. For all I know, so who knows?
With my Cowboys, and Lou will agree with me on this. We actually we need offensive line help.
Oh,
okay.
Of course.
And we also need a running back. Now, here's 2 running backs I would like first to take. Now, one of the 2 first to try to pick up. Either the young man out of Michigan, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. And Jonathan Brooks from Texas. But the only thing that scares me about Brooks right now is that repaired ACL. But then again, the Dallas Cowboy orthopedic surgeon did the surgery on his knee.
Okay.
So that gives Dallas an insight into how his knee is doing.
Okay.
But then again, we got Rico that's proven he can come in and play.
What happened to Tony Pollard? Is he gone or
he went to I think he went to Tennessee.
Well, so did Stephon Diggs.
No, Stephon went to Texas.
He went to Houston. I'm sorry. He went to Texas. I'm sorry. He went to Houston. I'm sorry.
And can you imagine him with C.J. Stroud down in Texas?
Well, that team took a step in way ahead last year if they continue, they're going to dominate the AFC South for years to come. Because Tennessee is down, the Titans are down, Jacksonville, depending on how Trevor Lawrence does, and then Indianapolis is a big because that depends on how Anthony Richardson comes back from his injury. But Houston could be the next big thing in that division, and they could dominate that division for years to come with weapons like that.
What's not to say that eventually I could get my wish, and I'll take the Super Bowl.
Dallas against Houston?
Yeah.
That could happen. It could happen. They're in opposite sides of the coin, so yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, but with him and CJ in Houston, that just made that team a little bit more dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because I'm just upset that Dallas didn't pick up Derrick Henry.
Well, I'm wondering, Gerald, if they couldn't get him under the cap, and maybe that was the reason behind it. They couldn't, if they signed whatever his contract needs were, they couldn't get under contract with him as a running back. That's my only thought. I could be 100% wrong, but that's my thought process. Is they couldn't get him under, they couldn't pay him and then afford to pay, Dak and Lamb and all those guys. Because, the Cowboys, for the longest time, they've always been good offensively, but their defense has been good. And that's what's kept the Cowboys in the last few seasons is their defense. So you got to pay those guys. So I'm wondering if that's why they didn't pursue. Or, Gerald, you know what? They may have looked and said, you know what? He's too old. He's not got a lot left. Who knows?
Even if they signed him to a 1-year deal, to pick up a rookie running back in a draft and let him sit behind Henry and learn, you're getting the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting a bruiser of a running back. Because we know when Henry hits the holes open up.
Yep.
And plus, he could mentor the young running back.
Correct.
So even if they picked him up for a 1-year deal, let's say 1 year for like $20 million.
Is Derrick Henry still a free agent? Or is he
No, he signed with I think he signed with Baltimore.
Oh yeah, he did. That's right, he did. Yeah. That made that team 100% better.
Yeah, but now they need to get a quarterback. Because don't get me wrong, Lamar is good in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, he doesn't show up.
Well, he may not have to now. With Derrick Henry, he may not have to. It may not have to lean on him so much come playoff time.
Same way with Dak. During the regular season, Dak is good. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's just like Dak disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Mac Jones, he's in Jacksonville now, behind Trevor Lawrence.
And they're saying now, there's rumors that Dak could either go to the Patriots or the Vikings.
Well, if Dallas would want to haul back, they're going to want picks back from him. At least a couple. I'm assuming a couple first-round picks for Dak, I'd imagine.
So I think Dak is safe in Dallas.
I know a lot of Cowboys fans don't like him. They don't like his style, but
I don't like the style.
The dude wins you 12 games during the regular season.
Yeah,
you're at a playoff spot every year. And then again, that division outside of the Giants, well, the Commanders aren't any very good either. The Eagles and the Cowboys are dominating that division as we speak, hands down. Both of those teams. So
if you notice, every year when it comes down to the NFC East title game, I mean, to win the division, it's always Dallas and Philly
Mm-hmm.
on who's going to win. Who's going to win the East?
Yeah. Well, and I think, Gerald, too, I think that's going to be the case for the foreseeable future because the Giants, they got rid of Saquon Barkley. They're going to keep Daniel Jones around if they decide to do that. If not, they're going to go through a whole rebuild. And Washington, they're already in the rebuild or they're getting ready to go to one. So we'll have to see, how the Commanders, what they do, But yeah, I mean, as of right now, that division is going to be dominated by either Philadelphia or Dallas. Hands
Exactly.
down, one of the two.
And they saying that Washington is going to take that quarterback from Florida. What's his name? I can't think of his name now. Not the one that got hurt, but the other one.
From Florida or Florida State?
Florida State.
You're referring to the kid that got hurt?
No, not that one. The other one.
I'm trying to think of who Florida State's quarterbacks were this year.
It could have been J.J. McCarthy. I don't remember, but they said that they want to pick up one of the young quarterbacks. I don't remember if they said Michigan or Florida State.
Because Gerald, Washington picks where in the draft? They got to pick in the top 5, right?
Washington. Okay, this is the draft order.
Okay.
Chicago picks number 1.
Yeah.
Washington picks at number 2.
Oh, they're number 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The Patriots at number 3. Cardinals at 4. Chargers at 5. The Giants are 6. Tennessee's at 7. Atlanta is at 8. The Bears are at 9. Because the number 1 pick comes in from the Panthers.
Correct.
Then it's Lou's Jets. Then the Vikings, Denver, Raiders, Saints, Colts, Seahawks, Jaguars, Bengals, Rams, Steelers, Dolphins, the Eagles, Houston, Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Buffalo, Baltimore, Detroit, San Francisco, and the Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Let's see. In the first round, Dallas picks at number 24. And in the second round, they pick at number 56.
So the Cardinals and the Bears have 2 first-round picks, right?
Let me go look here. Bears
pick at 1 and 9.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals pick at, would you say 4 and 20 something?
And 427.
427. Okay.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys, and say if Jonathan Brooks is still available when Dallas picks, go ahead and pick him up, give him a shot. Because I got a funny feeling if they don't, it's going to be another Randy Moss situation.
We don't need that.
Okay.
Well,
back when Randy Moss came out of college, he had the same injury that Jonathan Brooks had, his ACL.
Well, here's my question, Cheryl, for you guys. You have that draft pick. Do you take a running back or you guys take offensive line?
Well, we need both.
Well, because you guys are both Cowboys fans, if you were there, if you need offensive line, wouldn't you think you would take an offensive lineman in that spot? And then in round 2, if the running back is still there?
Yeah, that makes sense. I would go after an offensive lineman because that offensive line now is getting old.
Well, and remember too, running backs don't get picked in round one much anymore. Bijan
No.
Robinson was an exception, but they don't get picked because it's not a running league anymore. It's a passing league. So
The Atlanta Falcons are pissing me. The Atlanta Falcons are pissing me off. They
Well,
they
want
got a
Falcons.
good running back and Bijan Robinson.
that's
The
going to
man-
change.
The man is talented.
That'll change, Gerald, because of their head coach.
They
You know,
did not use him. They did not use him right last year.
They haven't used what's his name from the Florida Gators either. Their tight end. He hasn't gotten used correctly either. Kyle Pitts. He hasn't got used either correctly. So
You got two
Raheem
talented
Morris,
players.
Raheem
sitting on
Morris is
the
going to
team.
change all that. So just look at that.
You got two talented players sitting on your team. Use them. That's why you drafted them.
Who's their quarterback in Atlanta? Oh, that's right. The former Viking quarterback. He signed there.
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
I don't.
No,
You
you're
know,
close. I like those for Kirk Cousins.
I don't think Cousins. I don't think Cousins is going to help the Falcons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Uh,
better than It's better than what they had. I can say that.
Yeah,
That
he's
much.
better than what Ritter was.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt about that.
Yeah, but in round one, I would take an offensive lineman. Round two, I would go look for my running back.
Yeah. If you guys aren't sure that Tony's coming back, or I mean he's already signed somewhere else, then yeah, you got to go get a running back, at least a young one that you guys can. And I mean, who knows? You might be able to get a running back in free agency too to get to sign. You know.
Some Cowboy fans want Zeke back.
I saw that. I saw an article about that the other day. I did.
Myself, I say the Zeke experiment in Dallas is over. Let it go. We need younger, not older.
Right.
You know, Zeke had his time to prove that he could do something in Dallas, and he couldn't. So why bring him back in when his career is almost over?
That's a good question. Honestly, that's a good question. Yeah.
And why would you give him big time money again when his career is almost over?
That's a good-
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't give him
I
big
say
money.
right now,
Like you were
I say
talking
right
about a
now-
1 year prove it deal. That's what I would give him, Gerald. A 1 year
I
prove it
wouldn't-
deal.
yeah, but then again, you know, he's not a young player anymore.
Nope. No, because he actually played for the Buckeyes the last time they beat the Wolverines, and that's been 3 years in a row Michigan's beat them. So there you go.
Yeah.
And we all know running backs don't last long in the NFL.
Well, it's
No, they don't.
the shelf
I
life
think-
is like 2 or 3 years, and your shelf life is that's about it.
And
Yeah.
I think Zeke's probably got maybe 1 year left in him.
It's a shame too. You know, it's a very important position, and they only last a few years. Yeah, what a
Uh-huh.
shame.
So Zeke is right at that limit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yes. Oh, nice shot.
And you know, and did y'all hear about him, that young man from the Bills that collapsed on the field?
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tamar Hamlin, excuse me. Denny
he
Hamlin.
has retired. He walked away from the game.
He retired.
Smart move.
Smart move. Yep, I agree, Luke.
I
You know,
agree too.
he had one. I mean, he had an injury where almost everybody thought that he died, and like
Yeah.
you know, he was like he come out of it. Like you know, I think he made the right move by retiring.
Yeah, 'cause you know what's not to say? He goes out there on that field and plays 2 games and collapses and don't come out of it.
Yeah, you don't want to go through that again. That was scary the first time we saw it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. He was only dressed for 1 game last year, right?
Yes,
Correct.
So they knew the Bills handled that situation the correct way by not saying, okay, well, you're okay to go back out there. Well, no, you're not. Because if you get hit again or you have some kind of heart issue and you could die, like you guys said, he may not
Be
come
so
out of
lucky.
it the second time. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So he did the right thing. He was looking at his health.
Yes. Yep.
And
Smart
that's what you
man.
should do. But
Yep.
yeah, but I mean, also I think that the coaches and everybody else, they should check on him, before even try to play. They should check on his health condition before that. I mean, because then they know that he had this problem before he went on to play in the NFL. I mean, they needed to do a background check on their players more.
But see, they
I
did go
agree
through.
with
They did go through a physical before they come onto the team. But then again, they may not have that problem when they first go through the physical. But I agree what Lou's saying. After the end of every season, make them go through another
Physical. Yeah.
I get it. It might not have happened before that, and all of a sudden, the condition just happened. I get it, but still, you still need to do a background check on your players, and you need to go through a thermal examination before you think about it, because an injury like that, it can happen once and you may survive, but it happens a second time, you might not be so lucky.
You're not so lucky.
That's
need to
what I'm
check-
saying.
Yeah.
That's what that's the way they do these high school athletes.
Yeah.
Once a year, you got to take a physical.
Yep.
And the summer, it's brutal with that heat, and there's been high school players and college players that have gone to the hospital with the heat stroke. Some even died.
I know. Because there was one game that we played and we met and we weren't playing good. The coach made us go to 3 days in the heat.
Ooh.
Can't do that.
He did, and I tell you what, it only took us 2 days to get our crap back together.
Yeah. Well, Lou, Gerald had a good idea. Speaking of high school football, Gerald had a good idea. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, off air, where we want to do it near the end of our show, or this show and Gerald's show too, where we do local high school scores. So if you have local high schools in New Jersey, I'll do mine here, where I'm at in Florida. Adam can do his in Tennessee and Gerald can do it in Texas. We can kind of like update people, around the country. Like, hey, here's our high school. That way we could do like high school, college, pro football at the end of each show. Because that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'm hoping to be calling high school games again this year. But I think that would be pretty cool to do that.
It would. Of course, you got to wait August to do it. But.
Yes. Yep. We're a good 4 months.
Well, August, I think September. I don't think we start till September. Because you guys have more of a heat problem, and then you want to get it done early. I think we don't start till September. But when it does,
football down here, they start training. Let's see, school ends in either June or July down here. So I think they start either training in July. Either in June. No, school ends in May. So I think they start training either June or July.
Because I'm going to say the schools here have spring games. So they have a game. They have a game before, either before the graduating class leaves, or maybe after they graduate in May or the first part of June is when they start kicking it back up. Like you said, Joe, when they kick practices back up, because Gerald and Florida and Texas obviously is warmer than New Jersey. So when you start kicking up heat, it starts getting hot in Florida in June, late May, early June, because we have hurricane season starts June 1st, and by August and September are when we start watching hurricanes. I mean, that's when we all buckle down because that's the peak of the season, because that's when the water's the hottest.
Oh yeah,
the Gulf of Mexico is so hot, the hurricanes go in there and they just blow up. So, By the way, I want to extend prayers to the people that were affected in Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee by that storm that went through on Wednesday.
yeah.
Prayers
That
to
was
all
a
the people
bad
that were
storm.
affected. Yeah.
We were tracking it on radar, and at first I thought, okay, this ain't going to be bad. Because I didn't see any rotation markers on it. Then all of a sudden, a rotation marker popped up. And no sooner you see a rotation marker on radar, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a vortex signature, which is, it shows a tornado coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And right after that, that's when that vortex signature showed up. And it just wiped part of that town out in Ohio.
Yeah.
There was a Taco Bell that got totally destroyed. The only thing that was left was the menu board.
Wow. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad because
And they thought
let's see.
thought some people were trapped inside of that Taco Bell when it got destroyed.
Yeah, that's scary. That's that's
See,
beyond
now
scary.
you know why I do what I do with the weather.
Yeah,
Because if I can get the warnings out, if my team can get the warnings out in time, maybe we can save 1 or 2 lives.
well, that's what's different between hurricanes and tornadoes. Hurricanes you can track. I mean, yeah, they switch tracks and dance. Tornadoes are so hard to predict where they're going to come down. That's what makes it so scary. Is you don't know when they're going to come down. You know.
And also, if you get a rain wrapped tornado where the tornado is wrapped in rain, it's hard to see on radar.
Sure.
But
what's more hard to track though? What's even more hard to track? That or the zombie apocalypse happening on Monday? Okay.
I got my glasses. I got my glasses to watch the eclipse.
Okay.
Yep. The zombie apocalypse. I love that.
Yeah, because they told the truck drivers not to be on the road during the eclipse.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I still can't figure out why. It's not going to be no big deal. It's going to be dark.
What time of the day is it supposed to happen?
Down
4:30.
here, I think between
4:30?
1:30 and 2 down here.
Okay.
That's probably was okay. Then I guess it'll be 3:30 for me. I thought it was like about 4 to 4:30 for me, but I guess I was wrong by about an hour.
What it's going to do is it's going to start and it's just going to come down like this.
Yeah. Stack.
Dead.
It'll come down at an angle.
Oh boy.
But, we may never see another one in our lifetime.
When is the next one supposed to be after this one?
Another 48 years, I think.
Yeah, 40
wow.
or 50 years.
Yeah, you never
I'll be an
know.
old man by then if I live through this one, but I'll be an old man by then.
47 years. I'll be 88.
I'll be
Yeah.
101.
7 years, I'll be in my 90s.
I'll be 101.
We'd still be on here talking.
I'll be walking around with have y'all ever seen that show Family Matters?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
With Steve Urkel, how he had his high water pants pulled up.
Right.
That's how I would look in my 90s with pants pulled all the way up.
Just give me Laura. That's all I want.
Do what, Lou?
I'll just take Laura instead. Oh boy. Now showings for sure.
Only on a live show will you get this type of comedy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. That is true. That is true.
No.
Speaking of comedy, where's Adam at?
I messaged him earlier today when I shared the link with you guys, and he said something about he didn't know if he was going to be able to come on tonight. So he's working or he's doing something, definitely will be back next week. So if he's back, back next week, that's fine. But yeah, I mean,
I had to run to the store to pick up something, and when I got back, I jumped on.
yeah, that's no problem. That's no problem.
You should make it.
Yep, that is
Because
true.
when you don't have a vehicle in a friend office to take you, you gotta go right then and there. You can't tell your friend, well, can you wait till 9 o'clock?
No.
Yeah, true. Well, like I
Just
said,
maybe.
the reason last week there was no show is my roommate had to go to the hospital for vertigo and an infection on her tonsils. She was being released on Thursday night, and there was no way I was going to be able. I didn't know what time I was going to be back, so that's why there was no show last week. So
You
How's
did
she
say
doing
vertigo,
now?
right?
vertigo, yes, yeah, Lou,
Oh,
vertigo.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, she's better. She's gotten better over the last week, but she still wakes up in the morning sometime with the world spinning in circles.
Woo. You're like,
Imagine that. You name a
okay, wait
YouTube
minute
song
here.
and a hit movie out of that. Isn't that amazing?
You're like, whoa, wait a minute here. I gotta sit down and figure this out. Why
Yes.
is the room spinning? I know I'm not drunk.
Correct.
We're brain dead.
Yeah. So
It's very interesting though. You name a disease after a YouTube song and a Hitchcock movie. What's next?
Speaking of that, on my way back from the store, probably I say about, I don't know, maybe half a mile to a quarter mile down the road from me. That's an underground gas lines.
uh-huh.
And on the way back, there was 3 fire trucks sitting on the side of the road with lights on, and firefighters were in the field looking at these pipes.
Holy moly, exploded.
I didn't see any flames, but they had the full gear on, the fire retardant suits, the air packs, the helmet. That's why I don't like having them that close, because of it being so dry down here,
Mhm.
one spark,
Brush fires.
it's gone.
Yeah.
And you can damn near bet if it ever happens, I'm out there with my garden hose soaking everything down, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brush fires. That sucks. It happens.
Look what happened up in the Panhandle of Texas,
Yep.
and they still don't know what caused that.
No.
Nope. It
Okay.
burned. It pretty much burned all of the Panhandle.
Well, with that, gentlemen, do you want to call it a show?
That's up to you.
All right.
Good show.
Go ahead, Lou.
Okay. Tune to the Pre-Apocalypse show on Saturday, aka the Enhanced Sports Show. Oh boy. We'll discuss making my will. Also, we'll cover the men's and women's Final Four, because the Final Four is going to be a doozy on both sides, especially tomorrow with the women's department. For those who've been following along, we'll also do a brief recap of the NIT for personal reasons, namely from my area, of course.
Yes.
MLB. We'll keep track of the NHL and NBA playoff chases because it's getting hot and it's getting really close. MLB. We'll talk week 2 of that other football league. Do I have to mention the name? Okay, UFL.
The
Yeah,
UFL?
I said. Okay,
The United Faith League.
Tony. Also, and of course, your NASCAR report, Gerald, and of course, when we complete without, you guessed it, WrestleMania. And of course, we'll also take your thoughts and comments along. The ridiculous story of the week, which I think I just named. Oh boy. Sports trivia, this week in sports history, and the feel good story of the week. So, if you got time between 4 and 6 in the east, 3 and 5 in the west, rather in the central time zone where Gerald is, call 512-543-4662. I'll repeat it again, 543-4662. Enjoy it because it might be my last. Okay, back to you.
And guys, once again, my wife and I would like to thank you for your thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely.
That means a lot. And I will keep y'all updated on what we find out.
Cool. With that, guys, I want to thank everyone that tuned in. I want to thank these two gentlemen for making Thursday's best day of the week for me, coming on here, talking, and again, extend prayers out to Gerald and his wife with their situation. Extended prayers out to all the people that were affected by the storms yesterday in Kentucky and in Tennessee and up north. There was snow up north at this time of the year. I can't imagine.
Wow.
Snow
Snow in Jersey today.
in May, snow in Maine. But anyway,
Yes.
thanks to all our sponsors, to our networks that allow us to come on every week and do this. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a full crew. I think Adam will be back next week. But until then, guys, I love every one of you guys. Thank you so much for making this so much fun. I am the Sportster Bradley Walker. This has been the Walker Report. Peace.
And congratulations, Seton Hall, for winning the NIT championship.
Cut print singing.
Yes, cut Prince.